guys, so for those who don't know me, my name is Shalyn. Those flies, they get me every time. I always smack myself in the face. If you guys want to stick around, I will share with you guys 9 top tips to starting a colt or a horse. Just so you guys can get a feel of what my channel is, I just invite people to come and watch videos of either my day with horses or how-to videos about horses, with horse training, with horse care, with anything like that. So if you guys want to see more of that, so you guys can consider subscribing, there's a box down below that says subscribe that you guys can push, or at the end of this video there will be another box that allows you to subscribe to me. So with all of that said, let us get started. Number 1, there has to be a leader. A lot of people have this idea that you guys are this one, you guys are one in this team and you just work together and you read off of each other. There's no one higher than the other. And a lot of people, they kind of just take that and they just kind of really take it literally. Horses, there's a monarchy. In a herd, if you look at horses in a herd, there's this monarchy. There always is a top horse. When you are training, you need to show the horse that you're the top horse. The horse needs a leader. So if you're not going to be it, they are. And that's where you get a horse that is very disrespectful. You guys are a close team. They're in a close second, but they listen to your cues. That way, you don't get in wrecks. And especially at the beginning, there needs to be that understanding. Once you guys become more of a team, that's where you guys can be like start working with each other really well, and just you can get to where you just read off of each other well, but there needs to be the boss, and that has to be you, or else you can get hurt by your horse. The second thing is fill-in timing / the release of pressure. When I say that, it's because horses, they learn from the release of pressure, not the pressure itself. For example, you're asking a horse to go. And to do that, you squeeze with your legs. Let's say you squeeze with your legs and the horse starts moving. The thing you'd automatically do, and do as quick as you can, is release that pressure. Stop squeezing with your legs. That way, they're able to learn that when they move, that squeezing's gone. And so they quickly learn that when you apply pressure, if they move, that goes away. And so it's that feel-in timing. It's knowing when to release that pressure. You release that pressure. You're telling them you did the right thing. And that way they're able to learn. They're able to understand what they need to know. Another thing that is so important to know is that with one horse, with each horse you own or are training, you actually have 2 horses. They have 2 sides of their brain, just like all of us. Anybody else, they have 2 sides of their brain. And so anything you do on one side, you have to do to the other. And the best way I have to describe that is you have your right-handed people and your left-handed people. Let's say you're playing soccer. You are more dominant on your right foot. And if you use that right foot all the time, that foot's gonna get pretty good. And if you move to your left foot, that foot is gonna I got him. Yeah. Anyway, so if you move to your left foot, that foot is not gonna know what to do at all. And so you have to work with that foot until it gets as good as your right foot. That's how it is with horses. And one side, they learn quicker than the other. Some horses are more left-handed, some horses are more right-handed. So one side, you do have to do more work than the other, but you have to do both sides. Number 4, when you are working with a horse, there are 2 things, desensitizing and sensitizing. Those are the 2 things that are super important, and you want to mix the 2 to get a horse that is lukewarm. And when I say that, that's a horse that's not too lazy or too overreactive. And so it takes time. With a horse that is more, high-strung and everything, you're going to want to do more desensitizing. There's a horse that's more lazy, you're going to want to do more sensitizing. And the difference between the 2 is desensitizing is when the horse is at a standstill, you are applying pressure or moving an object let's say slapping the rope on the ground, and you slap it and you keep slapping it until the horse stops moving. The horse can be freaking out, backing up, just not liking the sound, because horses don't like anything that moves or makes a noise. And so they're not going to be liking that sound, and they're going to be freaking out. You don't take away that pressure until they stop and they relax. And they can relax by cocking their leg, licking their lips, blinking their eyes, lowering their head, shaking their head, anything like that. That shows signs of relax. And so you don't want to take away that pressure until they are relaxed. That's desensitizing. You want the horse to stand still while you're moving tarps around them, while you're moving plastic bags, saddle pad, anything like that. You want the horse to stand still and relax. And you do that by continuing to apply that pressure around them, around the air around them, until they relax. Sensitizing, that is where you ask the horse to do something and they move off of that pressure. So that's where you apply pressure and they move off of it. So desensitizing, apply pressure and they stand still and relax. Sensitize, you apply pressure and they move off of it. You still want them to be relaxed, but they're moving off of it. So for example, to, let's say, move their forequarters or hindquarters, you apply pressure, and as soon as they move their back end or their front end, you take away that pressure. Does that make sense? I hope so, because I'm trying my best. Okay, number 5. One thing that makes horse training less stressful for me is to remember that there is no time frame. Okay, I am gonna share something that I learned off of Heartland. Honestly, the training on Heartland drives me crazy, but this one thing that wise old Jack said, he's a good old man. One thing that he said was, if you train a horse like it's going to take you 15 minutes, it's going to take you a lifetime. And if you train a horse like it's going to take you a lifetime, it's going to take you 15 minutes. And so I like to keep that in my head, because I was like, hey, we can be out here forever. I'm not going to ask this horse to do anything and have it done quickly. I'm just going to be patient, because if you get frustrated and everything because it's not going quick enough, then it's just, you're going to get frustrated. The horse is going to get frustrated. There's all this tension between, and you don't make as much progress. So there is no time frame when training horses. You can have goals like, hey, I want to have my horse's first ride by day 7. You can have that goal and strive for that goal, but if you need to take that time longer, let it be longer. You want the horse to be completely ready before you get on them. And so you don't want to rush things or cause you to get in an accident or your horse to get in an accident. You just want to be sure that you guys are both going to be safe. Number 6 is consistency. You can train a horse once a week. You can work with a horse once a week and make progress. It's going to be a stinking slow progress thing. It's going to be so slow. Or you can do it 3 times a week and make progress, but just remember, it's going to be slow. And you have to keep with it, though. If you want to make the best progress with your horse, you got to stay consistent. You want to train every day, or like 5 times a week, or even if it's 3 days in a row. You should train. If you're going to only be riding 2 days or 3 days a week, you should try to keep them together, because that consistency of those 3 days together, you're going to be learning, you're going to be teaching your horse more, because basically you've got your first day is your horse is learning everything that they learned from last time, and then you're reviewing everything, and then you can teach them the new stuff as well, if you need to, but it's mostly review everything from the training before. Then the second day is like review / teaching, and you don't have to do as much review because it's still fresh in their mind. And third day is the same thing. And so if you're doing every other day, you're doing more time of review, and so it takes longer to get your horse to where they need to. And so you can train a horse doing that. Don't get me wrong, you can. But if you want it to be more smooth riding, you're not messing with like all the horse gets all up in their self because they haven't been worked with in a day or a few days, and they're like, oh my gosh, like I have to be a freak. You know, you don't have to struggle with that as much. You're just able to stay consistent and get more stuff done. Okay, number 7, this is something that is also super important. You guys probably hear it enough, and if you haven't, you want to gain respect on the ground before you get on the horse. Respect on the ground equals respect in the saddle. And so with doing that, to get that, you got to do a lot of groundwork on the ground. I do 7 days of groundwork, and I want to be 95% sure that this horse isn't going to do anything stupid before I get on him. I want to have him totally prepared and respecting me, moving off all the pressure, like standing still while being desensitized, like all that stuff. I want to be sure that this horse respects me completely. And how you get respect is from moving the horse forward, backwards, left, and right. So back the horse up on the ground, lunging, changing directions while lunging a lot. Just moving off of pressure, just listening to all the cues that you're giving them. That's how you gain a horse's respect. Horse, they're big animals. Like, you have to have that horse's respect. And if you have their respect on the ground, their ride is going to go 10 times better. I promise. Okay, 2 things. Flexing your horse and bending. The bending is more like when you're riding them, but flexing their neck, what do you call this? Laterally. Yes, laterally. So, like you can see this horse is flexing their neck back and forth, and I am just picking up the reins with like pinky pressure, and she's doing it. But with that, it makes it so much easier when training. Your lateral flexion is your foundation for vertical flexion, for any of that stuff. Lateral flexion, if you have that down, then you've got your vertical flexion. So another thing that really helps with that is, so flexing at the standstill, but also when you are riding the horse, it's a bending exercise, and it's like right there. When you're riding the horse and you apply pressure towards their ribs to push their ribs out, and they have their head bent, and they're walking around your leg basically in this pretty picture, their picture circle, and they're not fighting you. And that just bends their body vertically, and laterally. And that is just a foundation that is so good to have, because you're just able to move your horse's ribs out, and they're able to walk around your foot. It creates flexibility. It gives them more bend, so it's not like you're riding this board that turns like this. It just creates more bend. Number 9, the last one, is one rein stops. One rein stops are lifesavers. I've had horses completely freak out on me, and because I taught them one rein stops, I was safe. And that's why you want to teach them flexing, because that is the foundation of a one rein stop. When I'm on the horse, I'm riding at a walk, trot, and lope, and I want to make sure that as soon as I pick up the rein with light pressure and sit back, their head turns and they stop, and they do the one rein stop. I teach them that. It's not something where it's like your horse, take off, just grab the rein and turn their head around. No, I teach them that so they know what that is. And I've done it 100 times where the horse spooked at a duck that flew up or something like that, and they go and take off, and I just picked up. Hold on, I'm making a video. This is my husband.
Hi!
He's cute. Anyway, so I'm almost done. But yeah, you just did the one rein stop, and it saved my life. So that is one thing that is also very important. So if you guys liked this video, please don't forget to like it and comment. And you can comment with more ideas that you want me to post about, any how-to videos you want to see. and you can subscribe as well. And like I said, that can give you guys the option to see my videos when I post them. You're just being awkward.
Yeah, watch the videos, like them, comment.
Do what he says. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys. Bye.